do. It's here in peace we hope to be, with the Indian tribes in Tennessee. Hello friends and neighbors, I just wanted to show you a verse real quick of how I play and sing. It's really neat, really old early American folk song. Has numerous titles. People call it the Pioneer's Letter. People also call it the Cumberland. People call it Old Cumberland Land, which I think is kind of confusing. My favorite title, the one that I like to use, is Indian Tribes of Tennessee. And I think that's really neat because it is unusual in that it's an old folk song that actually mentions American Indians, mentions Native Americans, indigenous people, if you will. Most of these old songs, even the oldest ones, they don't mention Indians. But this one does. There's actually two verses that mention Indians. Obviously, the one I just sang says it's here in peace that we wish to be with the Indian tribes in Tennessee. The other verse that mentions Indians is where he sings about, he or she sings about how they found a bunch of human graves all walled inside Freemason work. And that is almost certainly a reference to an early pioneer walking through, discovering for the first time a prehistoric American cemetery, a Native American cemetery. And we know that these did exist. They did exist in places like eastern Tennessee in the 1700s and before, when early pioneers would have been coming through. Pretty obvious that they saw a Native American cemetery or mound or something, a burial mound or a cemetery with individual tombs, and they said, wow, this is some kind of ancient, ancient prehistoric race, like maybe the Freemasons built this or something. Anyhow, blah, blah, blah. And that's very rare in one of these old early banjo songs. I don't know how old that song is, but I know it appeared in print in the 19th century. I don't know exactly the exact date. The Indians were pushed out of eastern Tennessee by 1840. Almost all Native Americans were gone, and there was no popular concept of living in peace with the Indian tribes of Tennessee after about 1830 or so. So I think this song is probably older than 1830. It may very well go back to the 1700s. Okay, enough of the history lesson. I will direct you to this link over here. If you want the tablature for this song that I'm about to teach you how to play, please go to this link, take a click on this, and take a whip on me, and it'll take you to patreon.com/Clifton Hicks. For a very modest monthly or annual contribution, you get the tab for this. It's only a few dollars a month, so we hope you'll join us over there. Okay, relative tuning is gCGCD. This is what Eddie Haggard called the one-finger C, because you can put one finger down and you get a C chord. Pretty neat, right? I'm not tuned all the way up to C. I've got a handy Korg tuner here. I'll show you my exact tuning. E, A, E, A, B. So I'm a good deal lower from double C tuning. The reason I do that is because hitting this high note high first string note on this song for some reason is very difficult for me now. So I tune even lower than normally. So instead of 2 frets low, I'm actually 3 frets low. So I know, because I've tuned the banjo to my voice, and I know that the song starts off way low on the bottom of my vocals, I know that I'm going to start the song off on the open bass string. That's Songster Method 101. That's how the old banjo songsters learn songs. That's how I try to teach songs. Songster Method. So, the day I parted away from you. That's going to be a bass run. That's just played on 2 strings of the banjo. So I start off on the bass string open. Then I'm going to slide from the 2nd to the 4th fret. Then I'm going to strike the 3rd string open. And then I'm going to slide again from the 2nd to the 4th fret on the bass string. Then That gives me the day I part. How do I get tit away from you? So tit away from you is third string open, bass string at the fourth, bass string at the second. Come make your C shape again, bass string open. The day I parted away from you, sorrow, grief, and trouble too, you gave to me your parting hand, and you wished me safe on the Cumberland. So now we know how to do the low part. How do we do that high part? We know that because in sorrow, grief, and trouble too, we know that because that's way at the top of our vocal register that we're going to be walking it up to that first string. So we walk it by, I've already planted my ring finger on the first string at the second fret, Eddie Haggard's one finger C. I'm going to take my free middle finger and I'm going to do a hammer on the third string at the second fret. Then I'm going to strike that second string open. Then I'm going to do a hammer on the first string at the second fret. In sorrow, grief, and trouble too. And just walk it back down. You gave to me your parting hand, and you wished me safe in the Cumberland. That's all it is, really. It's just the simple bass run that's on the bass string from second to fourth fret and striking the open third string. You got the chord shape, and then it's a matter of walking it up and down between the third and first string. Nothing to it, folks, nothing to it. Okay, again, I'll direct you to this link up here. That'll give you the tablature if you click on this link up here in the top left-hand corner. Other than that, I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you give the video a thumbs up. I really hope you'll share this video with somebody who's trying to learn how to play the traditional banjo. Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.